Happy Sabbath, everyone. A characteristic of Jesus that I want to follow is the way he made himself a friend to everyone, especially to people who were sinners, people who are outcast, people who didn't follow God's will or his plan. In Matthew 9, verse 10, Jesus is eating at the house of Matthew. It reads, "While Jesus was having dinner at Matthew's house, many tax collectors and sinners came and ate with him and his disciples. When the Pharisees saw this, they asked his disciples, 'Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?' On hearing this, Jesus said, 'It is not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. But go and learn what this means. I desire mercy, not sacrifice. For I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners.'" Jesus was a friend of sinners. Now, I don't know what the sins in these people's lives were, but here's the thing. There's no record of Jesus lecturing these people on their errors or casually reminding them that God did not approve, but they could make their own choices. He was just a friend to them. I imagine that at that dinner, he probably laughed and told stories, and he even joked like any good friend would. Jesus was a friend of sinners. I think as Christians, we often see it as our duty to be on the lookout for an opportunity to correct people. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with sharing our beliefs. But if we're just walking around whacking people over the head with a Bible, it's not what God intended for us. Sometimes we do the right thing in a very wrong way. And because when we're blatantly telling people that they're wrong, it often just puts up a wedge between them and us, and in turn puts a wedge between them and Christ. So if you notice the Pharisees in the story I just told, they're walking around town, kind of just looking for people to condemn. And they happen to find Jesus eating with the tax collectors and sinners. And of course, they make a stir about this. They call it out. They see it as their duty to make sure everybody follows every rule perfectly. And there is a reason that people, common people, flocked to Christ and not to the Pharisees, who were the spiritual leaders of the time. With Jesus, there was no judging, just helping. Instead of condemning, he cared. He acted like a friend. He showed the truth of God through himself in his unconditional love for people. This is what won people to him. They saw the light of God shining from inside him, and they couldn't turn away. Just Jesus' presence exposed the darkness and sin in their lives, and it made people realize that they needed him. Jesus is a friend of sinners. Only God can change a heart. Only God can convict someone's conscience to make them see sin. As Jesus' example shows, it is our job to be a friend to sinners and show them the light by letting him shine through us. We have to show God's love by showing our love. Show that he cares by showing that we care. It's simple. Like Jesus, we must be a friend to sinners. As a favorite song of mine, called Jesus, Friend of Sinners, by Casting Crowns, puts it, Jesus loves every lost cause and every outcast. The people who needed him, the broken people, the sinners, those are the reason that he came. And the song goes on to state that I was the lost cause and I was the outcast, but he died for sinners just like me. Jesus is a friend of sinners, and that's what we need to be. So as we go about our lives, let us all try to follow in his footsteps and be a friend to sinners. Because don't forget, we are all sinners too. Thank you.